My name is Yoshimi って決めたの。2013年に来日するって見つけて、あ、娘の名前よしみど。
So her name is Yoshimi from the album. So he named from the album because he's so influenced from the Flaming Lips.
I met them for the first time in 1994 at Lollapalooza. My band, Boredoms, was the first band at the main stage. The Flaming Lips were the first band at a small stage. So we couldn't see each other's gigs, but we had a lot of time after that. So we came to spend time and hang out together there. Coyne asked me to record together when I went to Texas to have a gig with my other band OOIOO at South by Southwest. So some studio in Texas. I thought it was when I went to Oklahoma, but Wayne told me it was when he came to South by Southwest, so maybe he's right. Then we decided to record together, and we did. There wasn't any particular emotion. I just tried to open all the parts of my throat and focused on the many kinds of scream for recording.
We set up a studio down there and we met with her, and really it was just a couple of hours one afternoon. And it was just a couple of tracks. And we recorded virtually everything that happened, all the talking, all the back and forth, everything that was going to happen. And I think we walked out of there with that session, maybe thinking that she did some stuff on 2 songs, but not very much. But we did record a lot of stuff. But what we're working on with Dave at this moment is the song that would go on to become Yoshimi Battles Pink Robots Part 2. So I'd say that's the Part 2. And it's a funny instrumental. I think Steve and I both referred to it as like Stevie Wonder is playing with Led Zeppelin. That would be our this is it's a funny rhythm. It's funky. That's an overused word, but it's really bouncing along, and it's kind of long, and it's I don't know what it was meant to become, but we sort of felt like it was exciting, and we just started to work on it. And the more that we worked on it, the less exciting it sort of became. And though this wasn't a song that Yoshimi originally screamed on, she had done some screaming and talking and all this stuff, we started to put some of her screaming into this song. Remember, this is Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots Part 2. And we put a little bit in, and it got more exciting, and then we did a little bit more, and it got more exciting. And by the end of this mix session, we really are throwing in virtually every second of her that we've recorded. Every scream, all talking, all this sort of exciting stuff. And at one point, just the way that the squishy, weird sounds that we're using, and all the calamity that's going on. Dave Fridman said it sounds like Yoshimi's being attacked by a robot, something to that effect. And I don't know why. I mean, I'm searching for like an identity and something that this record could be about. And I was right then, I was sort of like, well, yeah, I think this could just be called Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots. You know, going back to 1994, even the year 2001, I mean, people were starting to have cell phones and stuff then, but this wasn't like it is now, where everybody you know, you're just texting them all the time. So I never really knew what she thought. I never really even knew if she knew that we put out this album, you know. So getting able to talk with her again and then inviting her to play and her being enthusiastic and wanting to play with us was all just great, you know, such a relief, you know, that she likes it and wants to be part of it and likes the idea that that her name is part of this, you know, this bigger, this record or whatever, you know.
I think that's why now with 30 years later, I thought I just have to perform. Then me and Wayne started to have a communication again. Maybe 2025 might be an important year.
I know this song.
She's got the key for that already, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it changes keys. Yeah.
She heard her voice in that one.
Yeah, you screaming that one. Yeah.
I haven't talked to Will about it, but if we had the two wireless mics, one could just always stay on that stand, and then you have yours.
This kick?
Yeah, do that. Yeah, you gotta do that. Yeah. I think this is probably the first that Yoshimi had heard about this scenario by which the song we're getting ready to rehearse together was the song that, you know, made Dave Fridman say, hey, this sort of sounds like Yoshimi is battling. He probably didn't even say battle. He probably said just is in a fight with some machines or some robots, you know, something to that effect. And I think it's probably the first she'd heard of it. I mean, I think all creative people, you know, have the same sparks of, if something inspires you, you just go with it. You know, you don't really think about it being good or bad. It hits you, and you put a million things together all of a sudden. And I think she understood that, and I think that kind of, you know, I think that helped her just more embody this sort of character, which I'm not positive if that character wins or loses in the battle, but I think it sort of helped her understand the character that she's going to get into when this song starts. And we rehearsed it and it was great, but once, like I said, once the lasers and the audience and the robots are dancing and all that sort of stuff, it really, I mean, it didn't surprise me, but it did sort of shock me. Like, man, she's not holding back at all. And which, you know, sometimes that can happen. You know, people are really, you know, everybody's a little bit, you know, introvert, extrovert, but you don't know how much of that takes over, you know, once the audience is there.